Hi friends, welcome to Interactive Medicine. In this section, we are talking about the sensory and motor tracts within the spinal cord. Okay, I take this section of the spinal cord here. You can see in blue color and the red color. In blue color, we can see the ascending tract or the sensory tract, which impulses the transmission from the body to the brain system. And we have seen in red color, it is the tracts from the brain to the body. It is the motor system or the descending system. So we are going to discuss what is its names and its location. Okay, if we consider, I take a section of the spinal cord here, and also we can divide it by the posterior and anterior. We are talking about first the sensory system. That means which conducts the tracts from the body to the brain, or we can say from the spinal cord to the brain. So we have tracts from the spinal cord to medulla. We have tracts from the spinal cord to the cerebellum. We have tracts from the spinal cord to the thalamus. And if we consider about the motor system, we have mainly two kinds of motor tracts, that is pyramidal and the extrapyramidal. We have two pyramidal here and we have extrapyramidal, namely four. So first I am going to discuss about the sensory tracts. If we consider the medulla, the tracts which pass the tracts are going to medulla is located in the dorsal horn and also in the anterior position. So sensory tracts start from the word that is spinal. So sensory and ascending pathways, which are I draw in blue color. So we have a dorsal column medial meniscus system, which have two fasciculus, that is gracilis fasciculus and cuneus fasciculus. We know in medulla we have a specific nuclei, gracilis nucleus and cuneus nucleus. So the impulses is going to gracilis nuclei through the gracilis fasciculus from the spinal cord to the cuneus nucleus from the spinal cord by cuneus fasciculus. So if you are confused which one is the medial position, gracilis or cuneus, just we know just set the weight gram. We know the weight milligram kilogram. So if it write the weight gram, so GRA stands for gracile, so last letter M stands for medial, so you won't confuse again. So this is I am drawing the gracilis fasciculus and the cuneus fasciculus in the dorsal column. So next I want to set about if we take this spinal cord from the leg, we have sacral nerves which comes into the spinal cord, and it goes very close and medially to the central canal. And from the abdomen or thigh portion we have lumbar. It is just lateral to the sacral nerves, and from the thorax we have thoracic nerves, and it goes laterally to lumbar nerves. And finally we have cervical. It goes laterally in the dorsal column. So medial nerves are sacrum and lateral are cervical in the dorsal column. So that's what I am drawn here. So sacrum lies medially, and then lumbar, then thorax, and the cervical. If you comes to the thalamic nerves, these are thalamic. Here we have thalamic, that is the sensory inputs to the thalamus. So this is just opposite. The cervix is lies in the medial and the sacrum is lies in the lateral position. So in thalamic nerve, in thalamic tracts, that which means that I already said sensory tract start from the word spinal. So these tracts are called spinothalamic tracts. So we have a system of tract in lateral position and in the anterior position. So this is going to be lateral spinothalamic tract, and this is going to be anterior spinothalamic tract. This is what I'm saying, that spinothalamic tract, lateral spinothalamic tract, and anterior spinothalamic tract. The same arrangement of this pattern we can see here. This is a motor system. It passes the impulse. These tracts are conducts the impulse from the brain to the spinal cord. So this is also located in the lateral position, and also this is known as corticospinal tract. So I said that motor tracts end with the letter spinal. So it comes from the cortex. So corticospinal tract. The cervix lies medial, then thorax, then lumbar, and the sacral in the lateral. Another name of this corticospinal tract is pyramidal tract. If you are talking about sensory system, there is another tract system which conducts the impulses from the spinal cord to the cerebellum. So it locates more laterally. We have both anterior and posterior spinocerebellar tract. So it comes from the spinal and gets into the cerebellum. So this is the anterior spinocerebellar tract, and this is the posterior cerebellar tract. And I already said that in anterior position we have also a medulla fiber, that is, we know, in olivary nucleus. Olivary nucleus lies in the ventral surface of the medulla. So in anterior portion of the spinal cord we have seen a tract which comes from the spinal cord to the olivary nucleus. So these fibers are going to be said that spino-olivary fibers. So these are the sensory tracts in the spinal cord, that is gracilis fasciculus, cunis fasciculus in the dorsal column, and we can see anterolateral system, that is lateral and anterior spinothalamic tract, and we can see posterior and anterior spinocerebellar tract, and here is the spino-olivary. So if you come to the motor fibers or descending pathway, we have corticospinal tracts. This locates in lateral position, and we have also anterior corticospinal tract. It includes in pyramidal tracts. So extra pyramidal include, I just counted these letters. So this is the position of extra pyramidal tracts. First position in here, and second we have 2 and 3 locates here, and 4 locates here. So what are they? So for us a mnemonic in pyramidal system, I make a picture here, cortex, only cortex, corticospinal tracts. So in extra pyramidal, outside of the pyramid, make a picture here, a ruby and a reptile, 2 reptile. Here is an olive, and here is a violin. These 3 are locates in the anterior position, and these 1 and 2 locates in the lateral position. So first one, ruby, stands for rubospinal tract, and these 2 reptiles stands for reticulospinal tract, and this third one is stands for olivospinal tract, and this 4th one stands for vestibulospinal tract. You can make your own story. For an example, the reptile likes the ruby and eat the olive, and someone is playing the violin and dance, so their balance is going to be out. That is, I said, the vestibulo. So you can make your own story as you wish. So I think this will be helpful for you. And we have motor tracts, that is mainly 2 types, pyramidal and extra pyramidal. Okay, and in pyramidal tracts we have corticospinal tract, which are located in the lateral position and also in anterior position. In extra pyramidal we have, this is the position, first one, second one, these 2, and 3 and 4. First one ruby, second one, these are going to be reptiles, that means rubrospinal tract, and this is reticulospinal tract, and third one is going to be olive, that is olivospinal tract, and fourth one is the vestibulospinal tract.